I mean, what a result that was. I'm absolutely buzzing from it. Heard from Southgate. Love what I heard from Southgate. Love what I heard from Bellingham. Just the right messages. Southgate saying it's a fantastic result, but we shouldn't be conceding 2 goals. Bellingham saying the same as well. So I really like that. I really like the fact that we've not got carried away. That it'd be very easy for us to like just celebrate the fact we've just, won a game by 6 goals to 2. But we've not lost our mind. We are literally just staying grounded, staying focused. The conversation is, right, next, USA on Friday. Get ready for that game. There's no injuries. We don't know, obviously, what's happened with Maguire. If he is injured, then that's not going to be the biggest concern. So we're in a good place, man. We're in a good place. So England are up and running. Who is going to join them? Who of Wales and USA are going to get 3 points in the bag? We're going to find that out later. But before we find that out, we've got Netherlands and Senegal. Now, this is going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a very interesting game because this, of course, these are the 2 teams that are expected to go through this group. And these could be the 2 teams that England and USA, or England and Wales. I mean, obviously, it feels pretty good. England could be getting through here. But these are the 2 teams that are expected to be in that next round. So we're going to get a real glimpse as to what they are going to be bringing. And let me just change the teams over because we should have that team news. So let's go down to right lineup and change this over. Right, we are with different channel here in the UK. We was on BBC. Now we're over on ITV. There is the Netherlands team. So Daley Blind, Ake, Virgil van Dijk, De Ligt, Dumfries there on the back. Then you've got Bergius, Gakpo plays, Frankie de Jong, Janssen and Bergwijn. Obviously no Memphis. He's got a little knock, so he wasn't expected for this game. So no Memphis Depay. That is a bit of a loss to the Netherlands, but it was expected. So Bergwijn up front, De Jong, Gakpo. Gakpo is going to be so exciting watching him play. Very excited to see Gakpo in action. Quite defensively minded actually here by the Dutch, putting out a back 5. Netherlands are, fantastic team, well organised, quick fire attacks. They've never won the World Cup. And, Memphis Depay is a big, big loss for them. But everything seems to come through Frankie de Jong. He is very much the anchor man. He is one of the best in the world at taking defence and changing it into offence. He is someone that can really start plays. He really pulls the strings in this team. And then, you look in that defence, you got Virgil van Dijk, you got De Ligt. Obviously, the fullbacks like to get forward. We just saw that with Trippier and Shaw. You're going to see it here with Blind and Dumfries. Dumfries, in particular, likes to get forward a lot. So this is going to be a very interesting game. I expect a lot of attacking intent from the Netherlands. I think you have to be wary of Senegal because they are African champions, but there is no Mane. We're going to need to see Dyer step up in the centre. Normally he is there to kind of feed balls off into Mane, but there is no Mane. But they've got quality. I mean, there's some real quality in this side. They've got Koulibaly in defence, an incredible defender. Sarr up front. I mean, there's plenty of players here that we know from the Premier League. There is some real quality. This is a definite step up from Iran. A definite step up. So, England are going to have to be very good to get past either of these teams. Either of these sides would be difficult. England ideally would like to avoid the Netherlands, but that is largely out of our hands here. And this result could really, dictate as to who's going to finish first and second in that group. And of course, it looks like Qatar are going to be pretty much out. Ecuador are still in the hunt in Group A. But this is going to be very interesting. I think people are expecting Netherlands to get the win in this one. I'm expecting Netherlands to get the win in this one. I'm expecting Netherlands to win this 2-1. I think both teams have got opportunities to score. Really not impressed with the Dutch goalkeeper. He is not world class. So if they can get at the Netherlands, then there is potential for them to score a goal, Senegal. Even without Mane, they've still got some fantastic players in this team, and they're going to be a problem for anyone. So shout out to everyone in the chat. Hope you are well. Michael said, I wish the US had a good men's soccer team, but they're just not that good. They're all right. They're improved. They're improved. They'll be tricky. They'll be tricky. Gakpo. Yeah, Cody Gakpo is going to be a hell of a player. He almost went to Manchester United. United were very interested in Gakpo, but he didn't in the end, unfortunately. I think we spent a lot on Anthony. So we didn't get Gakpo, but he has been lighting it up. He really has been so impressive for PSV Eindhoven. So the write-up on him is 23 years old. Talented PSV striker, was crowned Footballer of the Year in Netherlands last year. He has learnt his profession from his former youth coach, now head coach, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and hope to follow in the footsteps at Manchester United next summer. A day before the transfer window closed, he had a private jet sent by Leeds with the technical director, Victor Orta, on board. Fly back to England without him, but they flew back to England without him. The vibes were not good. After missing out on Champions League, he is hoping for an international breakthrough, and now he is really starting to come into his own. So there we go. I didn't know that about Leeds, that Leeds had sent a private jet to try and get Cody Gakpo, but yeah, so the Dutch have managed to get through to a few finals, but they've never won this World Cup. They would love to have a good showing here, but I don't think the expectation is that they're going to make it all that far. I think the expectation is get out the group. And then, honestly, if they get out the group, I don't know who they would face. I think it would probably be, say, US or Wales. They would likely get past that, but then I don't know after that. Let's look at the bracket. Here's the bracket for the World Cup. So, Netherlands would go through potentially first. So, if you win Group A, you play the runner-up of B. So, let's say they play USA, right? I think they get past USA if they do. Then they would play the winner of C and the runner-up of D. Well, the winner of C would be Argentina. And the runner-up of D is either Denmark or France. So, I mean, it's just a horrible route, isn't it? It's horrible. Horrible. So, yeah. Really, you want to win Group B. Because if you win Group B, then it does seem to be a bit of an easier path. I think finishing as a runner-up in Group B really puts you in amongst some big, big names, namely Argentina, potentially France, seemingly Brazil. So, yeah, tricky. And Netherlands, if they top this group, look like they'll be going in that direction. And even if they don't top the group, their next game could be against England if England do finish first. But, of course, can't get too ahead of ourselves. Can't get too ahead of ourselves. Austin probably wants Netherlands to win. He is probably sleeping because in California it's 7:42. Yeah, he probably does. Yeah, he wanted Netherlands at the Euros, didn't he? So I'm sure he would throw his support behind them. Dej, you got more views for the non-England match, said Happy Wednesday. Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't know if that's true, actually. I think it was like, well, last time I checked, it was 7,000 and something for the game yesterday. I think this one was about 8,000. I don't think all the views have actually added in yet. So I think the England one, this one we just did, was a little better than the one yesterday. Which, honestly, if you think of the time, I mean, everyone here in the UK are at work. They're at school. Like, it was bang in the middle of the day. People are at work. People are at school. It's a horrible time, whereas yesterday, obviously, it was Sunday. That's a much better time. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really think that the views are going to be that great for this World Cup, but It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I'm watching this World Cup, whether anyone joins me or not. I am here for this World Cup. I am so excited for it that it's really not about that. Rumour is that Aldis and Mickey could go to a Rumble, says AEW fan. Michael said that non-England game was also the start of the World Cup. That's true. Glad you're getting the support you deserve, Lars. Almighty Daddy has. Shout out to you. Netherlands are probably going to win this. Yeah, let me know. What do you think? I mean, I'm leaning 2-1 to Netherlands here, but I mean, to be honest, I thought England would win 1-0 in that last game. It turned out to be 6-2. So that shows how good of a read I've got of situations. Like, no way did I predict that. No way did I predict that. So, yeah, I think Netherlands should have enough here. I'm very excited to see Gakpo. ITV are saying that Netherlands going to line up in a 3-4-3, which I think you're going to see a lot of that with these teams. You know, they when they're defending, they're going to get those numbers back, of course. When they're attacking, then obviously it'll be a different formation. So it's going to be very flexible. How they actually start, how they line up, I'm not sure. It could be a 3-4-3, it could be a 5-3-2. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, they've got enough to get a victory in this game. Nadula said, I think Senegal are going to win 3-2. Rage Kid said, I think it'll be 2-1 to the Netherlands. Do you think Nick Aldis should dethrone Bron? Yeah, maybe. I think he might need a bit of time in NXT, but not long. I think just get him in there. Yeah, make a statement, have him dethrone Bron Breakker. I mean, you could just put him straight to the main roster, but I think, yeah, maybe a little spell in NXT first wouldn't be the worst. I've got Senegal 3-2, says Nidula. And Wrestling Days, streaming football, said Anthony94. This is something I thought I would never see. Yeah, we used to do it. I mean, we did the Euros last year. We only do it for the big tournaments. We don't do it for anything else. But we did the European Championships last year. We're doing the World Cup. There won't be anything next year because there are no big football tournaments next year for England. So, yeah, a World Cup special in it. So, I think people are enjoying it. We've enjoyed some fantastic support. I really am appreciative of everyone that joined us for that England game and joining us right now. We've got the inflatable World Cup being wheeled out. That's making its way out for the teams. The teams will be coming out pretty soon. We don't have to wait too long for this. We are seeing around there's Senegalese flags, Dutch flags as well. I think it's always interesting to look and see who has made the journey to Qatar. Looks like there's a fair few people that have. I can see a lot of Dutch shirts, in all fairness, a lot of orange. Legend Killer, hello. James thinks it's going to be Holland 2-1. Yeah, look at that. Wow, look at those. Fantastic. Once in a lifetime experience, speaking to a few Dutch fans. Hopefully they can get the points in tonight, they say. I had Bellingham in fantasy and Saka, said Bonkers. Very good. Very good. I must admit, I wasn't that confident that I thought Bellingham would sit quite deep, actually. I thought it was brilliant that he was really box-to-box in it. Saka, I mean, that's the greatest performance I've ever seen from Saka in an England shirt. Absolutely brilliant. Do you think Cena Gunther for the ITC title should be a Mania match? Yes. Victor said it was an outstanding performance by England. Much respect. I'm a fan of Mexico. Victor, shout out to you. I wish you all the best. I hope Mexico do well. I mean, I remember they've qualified for the round of 16 for the last 7 World Cups. So they are a team that normally get through the group, Might be a bit tricky this time. I'm sure you're in with the likes of Poland. I think maybe Argentina. Are you in that group? Yeah, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. So tricky, but yeah, you should go through in second place. That game, you and Poland, that is going to be big. It's a big, big game. I actually don't know. I haven't even looked at what games are coming up tomorrow. Let's have a little look, see what we've got. So we've got tomorrow, Mexico, Poland. There we go. So Mexico against Poland. That's tomorrow. And we also have France against Australia. Unfortunately, we do miss the Argentina game tomorrow, which is very disappointing. That is very disappointing. But yeah, it's just fitting them in, man. Just trying to fit these things in is very, very difficult. But we do get 2 games tomorrow that we're doing on the channel. Mexico, Poland, France against Australia. And then on Wednesday, we've got Germany, Japan, Spain, Costa Rica, and Belgium versus Canada. Canada get their account up and running. So how will they do against the Belgians? That is on Wednesday. Do you see Sheamus and Kevin Owens as opponents for Roman before Mania? I mean, they feel like they're going to be, don't they? Because they're in the mix with this Survivor Series thing. So yeah, I think I probably do. Rumors are that I think the draft is going to be after the Rumble. So yeah, I think Sheamus being an opponent makes sense. Kevin Owens has had a shot a while ago now, in all fairness, and he's technically on the Raw roster. That hasn't stopped them before, though. They absolutely could give him an opportunity again. But I think Sheamus more likely than Kevin Owens. This is incredible. Who do you got winning the World Cup? I've got Brazil, Lewis. Who have you got, Lewis? Who have you got? I've got Brazil. Dark Lord said, is it coming home? I think what it's doing is it is having a little look. It's having a look. What it's done at the moment is it's just checked its watch. It's had a look at its watch to see what time it is. It's not coming home time yet, but it has had a look at football's had a look at its watch and gone, need to start thinking about making a move. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll tell you when it's coming home. But I think we need to get a few more results in the bag first. Paulie said Brazil will win easily. Listen, I heard a rumour that Brazil have locked themselves in their hotel. They're in absolute floods of tears. And any time that someone like knocks on a door and says, are you all right? All they can hear through the door are the Brazilian players just screaming out the name Bellingham in fear. Like, they're just like, Bellingham! Like, they're terrified. Absolutely terrified of Jude Bellingham. A few mutterings of Saka as well. I think Vinny came out and did an interview moments ago and was like, I will never be as good as Saka. I know that. I will never be as good as Saka. And no one in my team will ever be as good or has ever been as good as Jude Bellingham. And there's real concern in the Brazilian camp. So Brazil have got to win, said Nadula. Can you tell us who your favourite wrestler is to portray in the bedroom when the lights go down? Yes, Wendy Chu. Wendy Chu. Michael said, France, Australia tomorrow. Are you streaming it? Also, Denmark, Tunisia tomorrow. France, Australia, we are doing. Games we're doing tomorrow. Mexico, Poland. France, Australia. On Wednesday, Germany, Japan. Spain, Costa Rica. And Belgium, Canada. So I don't think the Denmark game has made it. And I know the Argentina game didn't make it. But 2 games tomorrow, 3 on Wednesday. Saran said, are you Southgate out? No. Lou said, who is the GOAT, Messi or Ronaldo? I always said Ronaldo because I'm a Man United fan, and so I've seen more of Ronaldo, and I have probably enjoyed his moments more because many of his moments have helped Man United. But the truth is, I genuinely don't know. I think they're both fantastic players. I think they both have had incredible careers. I think you would say Messi is better right now, but I don't know that you can say Messi has been better overall. I think it's one of them, innit? I'm not really passionate about either. Yeah, I'm not really passionate about either. So in the argument as to who's better out of Messi or Ronaldo, my answer would be Pele. Pele is better. Ronaldo has said he wants Messi in the final. Thoughts? Yeah, it's probably the final the world wants. If you used to ask most fans what they would like to see outside of their own country, of course, then I think a lot of people would like to see the Messi-Ronaldo final because it's the final World Cup probably for both of them. So seeing them head-to-head, battling it out, who is the... I mean, that'll do it, wouldn't it? Who's better, Messi or Ronaldo? Well, let's find out. Let's just chuck them both out there. Do Portugal against Argentina and we'll get an answer. Done. Whoever wins, they're the GOAT. Maradona is the greatest of all time, says Cal. Greatest of all times. Don't use their hands to score goals, do they? Do they? Do they do that? No, they don't. Here's the... right, teams have come out. We're going to be underway with this. Please read James Chadwick's comments. I would love to do that. Let's see what James says. Andrade has said thank you and bye on Instagram, so he could be gone from AEW. Okay. I think he's unhappy, isn't he? I can't say I blame him. Plus also, if Charlotte's at WWE, if he can get out of AEW, he can go back to WWE, because I think Triple H will take him, and then he can join up with Charlotte. Can I just say, the England national anthem I thought was quite short. It didn't feel very long, the England national anthem. This feels longer. Did you know as well, by the way, I only found this out, the World Cup trophy is expected to be retired in 1938. Look at that. Wonderful. Senegal supporters have put like body paint on themselves, white, and then they've got a different letter spelling out Senegal. Right. Here we go. The Dutch national anthem. Are you impressed? Triple H has resisted using a part-timer for Survivor Series. Yes, thanks. Thanks, Triple H. Tall Paul said, what fantasy players has everyone got? I've got Koulibaly. I've got Bergwijn and Dumfries in this game. I think I had Trippier in the last game, and that has not gone well. Trippier, that was disappointing. I think a lot of people probably had Trippier. So to concede 2 against Iran is disappointing. That is disappointing. I was very pleased to hear Gareth Southgate saying that as well. I was pleased to hear Gareth Southgate saying that was, a concern, and that hopefully they're going to spend some time taking a look at that. Big Verge's first ever World Cup. How do you think he'll do this evening, said Andy. Big Verge. Verge van Dijk. I mean, not in great form for Liverpool, to be honest. Don't know how he's doing for Netherlands, but he's one of the world's great defenders. I mean, I think he'll do well. I don't know if he's going to do anything exceptional. I don't know if there's anything exceptional in this Netherlands team. I feel like Frankie is and Gakpo is. De Ligt had so much hype around him, but that seems to have really settled down, doesn't it? So, I don't know. I think as soon as this Dutch team come up against a France or a Brazil, then I suppose in a way it's a bit like England. As soon as they come up against a real challenge, you do worry about them. And I think that's kind of my feelings towards the Dutch. Dynamite in Chicago. There's lots of CM Punk chants expected, said AEW fan. I've got Gareth Bale for Wales later. Big game coming up. So many people in our community are going to be excited about that. We've got Welsh fans. We've got American, US fans. How is that game going to go? So important. Whoever loses is really taking a big step backwards. Of course, anything can happen in the next round of games. But you've got to think that if you can get 3 points on the board at the start, that's going to be a big help. So Nopper in goal, he is getting a debut. They don't really have a number one keeper. So Nopper getting the nod is interesting. Maybe he will prove... I don't know much about Nopper. I don't know. Maybe he'll prove himself to be an excellent keeper. Nopper is 28, plays for Herenveen. He's a late bloomer. He had to wait a long time for his breakthrough in professional football. He did not improve during a spell in Italy. At one point, he was without a club. Last season, he profited by a blunder, which gave him a chance where he was given a starting place. His career has gained momentum. He is 2 meters tall. Nopper moved to his hometown club, Herenveen. He started there as a youth. He was second choice keeper. I mean, none of this is filling you with confidence, is it? Jesus. So he's been without clubs. He's struggled for game time. He's gone all around Europe, but seems to have found himself a bit of form. And now he finds himself as number one. This is definitely a concern for the Dutch. The goalkeeping position is not brilliant. Not brilliant at all. Joey said, I'm 8th in the fantasy. Well done. I said we will dig into that as soon as we get to USA and Wales. We need to get a few games in there first. There's plenty of football that's still to be played. 2 games have been played so far, and game number 3 is underway. So Netherlands against Senegal. Yeah, I mean, look, this is what I was saying. If you play the fantasy game, this is where things get really exciting. Because if you play the fantasy game, then, games like this that maybe you wouldn't be so bothered about, they become more juicy. Because you might have some Dutch players or you might have some Senegal players. And, that makes things more exciting. Right, the Dutch, they play total football, but good work already here by Senegal. Into the middle, shot goes over. Senegal, Dia there, taking a shot, and it already goes over the bar. Tell you what, a few jitters in that Dutch defence by the looks of it. Yeah, balloons up in the air. That was all right, that was, by De Jong with some good defensive work. But, good start, quick start by Senegal. Let's try and get the stats. Let's get the stats. It's going to be a corner. So, corner to Senegal. There's Ake. Ghana for Senegal. Going to whip it in. Into the centre. Headed clear by the Dutch. Edge of the area. Ball kicked away. And here is Senegal. They're still keeping the ball. They're putting the pressure on at the moment. They are more than just a one-person team, Senegal. Senegal are a decent side. They really are. They're the African champions. They play a 4-3-3, but they're very flexible. They've got a very strong spine. That's really good about Senegal. So all down the centre, they've got real quality. Oh, look at the trickery there by Senegal. But the Dutch standing firm. Senegal looking good in the opening stages here of this one. Ball coming out, though, by the Dutch. Dutch going from left to right. Senegal going from right to left. Ball being played across over to the wing. Down the line, Dumfries playing it back to the Dutch defence. It goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. So all the way back to Nobert. Mendy also has a path as Dutch goalkeeper. He's got no club, played in low division. Played as a third goalkeeper until both goalkeeper and Rennes were injured, and then he became the keeper he is now, says Easy99. That's interesting. It's interesting. Right, Dutch on the ball. Trying to find a way forward, playing it into the midfield. It goes back to that Dutch defence. Long ball forwards in towards Bergwijn. Couldn't control it. And the Senegal defence playing it out in the middle. Good tackle there. Ball falls to a Dutch player. Excellent work going over to the right-hand side there. Deep into the Senegal half. Gonna look to try and whip it in down the line. Ball goes out. So ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw in here by Netherlands. Dumfries. Down the line and well in Senegal's half right now, the Dutch. De Ligt's playing the ball. Oh, lovely! Lovely in the middle! Oh, there was no one there. No one there for the Dutch. Wow! A completely open goal. If there was someone in the middle, they could have smashed it home. That is a brilliant break by the Dutch. Daley Blind getting involved. That really should have been a goal. So into the middle. It was knocked back into the centre. Oh, God, look at that. Was that Bergwijn that just couldn't reach it? Just couldn't reach it. I think it was, you know. I think that was Steven Bergwijn that was just trying to get to it. Yeah, very good. Very good. Senegal have got the ball, though. They're going to bring it forwards. We're around the halfway line. Netherlands have stolen it. Netherlands, lovely, playing the ball forwards. Senegal are really struggling. There we go. They've got the ball. Senegal trying to drive forward. There's Dia. Days, where do we see the fantasy teams? Do you know? I've not been on yet, to be honest. We're only 2 games in, so I've not been onto it. But the website you want is FIFA Fantasy World Cup. It's the official game, obviously, that we're playing. And let's have a look. There we go. Ball down the line. Here's Senegal. Senegal trying to find a way forward down that right-hand side. Going to look to try and whip it into the middle. Still on the ball. It's high, it's long, it's to the back post. There is a Senegal player that's there, number 5. Played back. Goes to number 6 in the middle, Mendy. Senegal keeping the ball, but the opportunity was nice, and it's gone now, unfortunately. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. We want fantasy. Boom. So this is where we are at the moment with the fantasy game. I don't know how many. I have no idea how many people are playing. 127, is it? Or am I 127th? I think I'm 127th at the moment. Wow, look at this. Look at this. Over 200 people are playing. 204. That is amazing. I didn't know that. 204 people have joined. That's amazing. That's more than what we had for the Premier League season last year. Back post, Senegal trying to wrap their foot around it. Yeah, listen, if you can top that league, you will be doing very well. Very well. I mean, look, there's been 2 games, so we can't really read much into it at this stage. But yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know how many people were playing. That's amazing. Can you pin the fantasy game people want to play? Sure. You might you will have missed the first week, but you can join for the second week. That's amazing. I didn't know that. How do I do it? My league, there, invite, copy link. I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat for people. There we go. Right, ball into the middle. We've had 8 minutes so far. 1 shot each. Best opportunity fall into Netherlands. But Senegal have come out and looked pretty good, in all fairness. Ball being played back. Goes back to the Dutch defence. Goes all the way back to their keeper. And keeper taking a little bit of time on the ball. But and Senegal putting pressure on. There's some lovely pressing here by Senegal. Ball being played forwards. Edge of the area shot. Ooh. Just over. And you can see the Senegalese fans behind the goal celebrating, cheering away. I mean, they are bringing a wonderful atmosphere. So much colour and vibrancy. Yeah, not bad. Not only just over there by Senegal. Ball is going down that left-hand side. It's being pinged forward, being chased after by... Couldn't see who was getting after it. Was that Jansen? But no joy. It goes straight into the hands of the keeper. It's end-to-end stuff at the moment. Of course, Mendy in goal. Do you think Canada is capable of making it out of the group stage? I think they're capable. I don't know that they're going to do it, but I think they're capable. They're in a tricky little group, to be honest, because they're in the same group as Croatia and Belgium. Gotta think that Belgium... You know, I think Belgium finished 3rd at the last World Cup and Croatia finished 2nd. So, I mean, you're talking about 2 top teams. They're not the teams that are expected to... they're not expected to repeat that at this World Cup, but I think they're expected to get out this group. Edgar Davids. Edgar Davids, part of the technical team for Netherlands, which is great to see. So yeah, I feel like Morocco are going to be a tricky side as well. They're in the conversation, but I was listening to a Canadian football fan who was saying that there is optimism about them getting out the group. I don't know that it's an expectation, but there's optimism that they can do it. I think Belgium will likely finish first. And then it's a real scramble for who can finish second. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't expect Canada to get a result against Belgium, but if you can get anything against Belgium, even a draw, that'll be fantastic for Canada. So, yeah, I think that's Wednesday, is it? Wednesday, I think we saw. Ball being played forwards over on the left-hand side. Headed back, Senegal. I've got it in the middle of the park, passing it around, ball in the air. Bouncing about. Here's Senegal. Playing it over. And lovely work here by Netherlands. Chasing after it. Oh, look at that control. Just plucked it out of the air. Edge of the area. Senegal playing the ball forward. And it sails out. Did you watch England, Iran? I did. We did the live watch-along for it. We did a full watch-along. Watched the whole game. It was absolutely fantastic. Hayden said, wow, 204 people in that fantasy game. It's brilliant, isn't it? I had no idea so many people had joined that. It's absolutely fantastic news. That's great. Because I really think that it makes the whole tournament a lot more enjoyable. So that's brilliant. I hope people really enjoy playing that. Get into the habit of looking at your team at the end of each day because you can actually take players out. For example, Trippier didn't do that great He played, but he didn't do that great. So I can take him out tonight if I want. I can swap him for someone on my bench. So this is what I'm saying. Like, not only are we getting scores starting to come in, but you can actually make changes to your team. So you can make substitutions if you want to, if you're not happy with how someone's played. All I got out of England round was the start, the keeper injury, and then the Bellingham goal, said 50-50. That's a shame. Edge of the area for Senegal. They're in the penalty area. Back out. Shot comes in, but it's blocked. Netherlands getting some bodies back. This is end-to-end stuff at the moment. Pretty fun game, this. So, 52% for the Netherlands. Possession, and 48 for Senegal. You can see it's quite close. Quite close. But all of England around start. Keeper Bellingham goal. I'm from the future. It's 0-0, said Deanna. Well, I don't know how long it's going to be 0-0. We are seeing this going from end to end. Here's Senegal. Ball being knocked forward. Going to look to try and whip the ball across, and they do. But apparently it went out, so that's going to be a goal kick to the Netherlands. Andrew said, are you going to stream every game? We are going to stream 40 games. 40 games of the 60-odd games, we are going to be streaming those. So, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. There's a few we can't do, of course. There's definitely a few games that we can't get to, but we are doing the vast majority. Ball in the middle of the park at the moment. It's being brought forward by Ake. Goes over to the left-hand side. So, over to the left-hand side. Netherlands have still got it. We know this is going to be a tricky little game. We know this is going to be a tricky little encounter. Not easy for either side. I thought this would be 2-1. I mean, both teams are having to battle and work so hard. Ball going straight out of play. It's, I must admit, a little bit of a come down as well because, I mean, it was such a fantastic game that England were just a part of. Like, there is just a little bit of a come down. You know, after watching 8 goals. And England, of course, which is my team. Stadium still filling up, they said. There has been some ticketing problems. They're breaking forwards. Here's the Dutch edge of the Senegal area in the box in the middle. Cleared by Senegal. Cleared by Senegal. There was alarm bells ringing at that point. I got 35 points so far. On the fantasy. The leader is on 70. Well, don't worry about it because it could be that someone has had a fair few players. You know, it could be that they had Saka, they had Bellingham. They've used quite a few of their players. I mean, in all fairness, if you did have Bellingham and Saka, you'll have a big smile on your face right now. Ball being whipped into the middle. It sails over everyone's head, but with only 2 games gone in the World Cup, we've still got a long way to go. Ball being whipped in, headed towards goal, and it goes wide. This is more even, said Dort Knight. I'm expecting a score draw. Steve, shout out to you. He said, I love you, but I am going to be so fed up of your voice by Christmas. Dude, I'm fed up of my voice now. I know, yeah. I'm sorry. I'll have to try and... I'll try and put like a voice filter on so I can mix it up for different games. Ah, look at these. I love these guys. Just having a little dance. Love it. Senegal are bringing some... bringing the party atmosphere. That's what they're bringing. I feel like Netherlands are just slightly ahead. Just slightly ahead. in this game, but there's really not much in it. Both teams have had 2 shots. Neither side has had a shot on target. If you look at expected goals, it's really close. Netherlands 0.06, Senegal 0.10. Here come Senegal again. They're around the edge of the Dutch penalty area, playing the ball back. Goes over to that right-hand side. Into the penalty area. It's whipped across, but it goes out of play. I think that's going to be a corner, and it is. That was Ake that was doing some good defensive work. So, ball was played across. Moldy said, I've been listening to Daisy's voice for nearly 2 years. It rings in my ears when I sleep. I know. Listen, I think we can all agree that we're going to be fed up of my voice. Just know that I am fed up of my voice as well. Ball whipped in, corner, into the middle. Good. Lots of Senegal players in there. And Netherlands looking to clear the ball. Putting it down that right-hand side. Bergwijn chasing after it. Being put under pressure. Going down that right-hand side into the centre. That's an amazing ball. Into the middle. Completely unmarked. Netherlands. Oh, twisted. It's cleared. Oh, that's a real opportunity for De Jong. Oh, it's a real opportunity. You probably should have just smacked it. But he tried to get around the defender. Wow. Big chance. Big chance. Shot there by the Dutch. Bounces off the defender. It's blocked. And that is a big opportunity for Frankie de Jong. Just having a look. This ball by Bergwijn, that was great. It's played across. One touch. Needed to rifle it. Doesn't. Takes too long. It gets caught under his feet. And the opportunity goes. The opportunity goes. Ali McCoy said to not get a shot away there is criminal. He is saying that Frankie de Jong is a criminal. Come on, Senegal, said Nidula. De Jong, what are you doing, says Bonkers. Katisa said De Jong. No. Daisy's voice is ASMR-esque. Don't understand the slander on that beautiful voice, says 50/50 TV. I appreciate that. I do understand the slander, though. And I'm actually adding to the slander. What if Sasha returns number 30 in the Rumble? Yeah, I think there's a good chance of that. I wouldn't want her to win it, though. I think if she wants to come back, bring her back. WWE, I mean, like, WWE don't need Sasha. If she never came back, it's not like WWE are going to go out of business. So I wouldn't pander to her too much. But, so I don't know that I'd ever win it. But I'd like to see her come back. I got nothing against Sasha. Here's De Jong driving forwards. De Jong still driving forward, whipping the ball across, but just couldn't feed through. The Dutch player comes back to De Jong. Lovely ball. Some of these balls by the Netherlands have been really, really impressive. Foul there by Senegal. This is a little bit more like a normal football game. I think what we were just treated to was just absolute carnage. I mean, 6-2, you just don't see that kind of scoreline that often. 8 goals. 8 goals in that game. We were spoiled. We were spoiled. I think that game really changed when the Iranian keeper went off. I think you might want to mess with the mic settings. It seems to cut out when you move backwards. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've actually changed microphone because I do have like a nicer microphone, but that cuts out when we get loud. And I'm a bit worried that this one cuts out when I get loud as well. I've tried to fix it, but I can't find how you fix it for like Windows 11. There's lots of like how to fix it for previous versions of Windows, but that doesn't help me because where it says to go is not there anymore. Ball being whipped in, headed towards, well, they tried to head it towards goal, but it's easily cleared by Senegal. Yeah, I have had a look at the settings. That's why when there's a goal, I tried to lean away. I don't know if you've noticed, but I tried to lean away so it doesn't cut. I'm hoping it picks up the sound, but doesn't cut out. We'll get it fixed. We'll get it fixed. It's on my to-do list. Sasha is the biggest women's wrestler WWE has ever had, and you say you don't have anything against her, but you bashed her for what she did. Yeah, well, she was wrong. She was wrong to walk out. So, and I still stand by that. But I don't hold that against her. She was wrong, but I would still welcome her back. Biggest female that they've ever had? Bigger than Becky? Sasha Banks bigger than Becky? I mean, look, there's an argument she's the biggest. I'd say there's an argument for that. But I don't know that she's bigger than Becky. I think she's probably bigger than Bayley. Charlotte's been more successful, but Charlotte is not as popular with the fans. Yeah, but WWE would be fine without her. If she doesn't come back, it's not a problem. I'm not bothered. And WWE shouldn't be bothered, and I don't think they are. They've already done, like, when did she walk out? Walked out in May. She's already been gone 6 months. Ratings are fine. Everything's fine. So if she wants to come back, that's fine. Like, again, don't hold it against her. If she wants to come back, no problem. She's been away for 6 months. So if she wants to do that, that's fine. But I wouldn't be saying, like, oh, please come back. You can win the Rumble. You can have a title. You know, all this kind of stuff. I wouldn't be doing that. Forget that. Come back if you want to come back. If not, don't. Simple, innit? 25 minutes gone. Lita, Trish, and Becky were all bigger, says Moldy. Yeah, that's true, actually. Trish. Lita? Do you think Lita was bigger than Sasha? I mean, the only thing is Sasha has main evented a WrestleMania, which I think is a pretty big deal. I think these women have had more opportunities. Ball being whipped in there by Senegal. Edge of the area. No joy. No joy. Trying to curl one round. Edge of the area. That was nice. It was a nice attempt, though. It was a nice attempt. Becky hasn't headlined newspapers. Been in movies. Sasha is royalty. Royalty. Bianca is nowhere near her level. Dude, settle down. Settle down. Becky has main evented a proper WrestleMania, not night one, but she main evented WrestleMania 35. When she was the man, I don't think any woman has been bigger. If you think that, I mean, look, I think there's an argument for Sasha, but I think to say she's bigger because she's had a few moments in The Mandalorian. No. That doesn't put her clear for me. She's in the conversation, but I think so is Trish. I think Trish is in the conversation. Becky is definitely in the conversation. Remember Becky when she had the blood on her nose and she's standing there and she's the man? Like, I don't think any woman has ever been bigger than that moment. That was an iconic moment when it came to women's wrestling in WWE. Certainly wouldn't be using words like royalty to describe Sasha Banks. I think we're drinking from the Kool-Aid there. Sasha is only related to Snoop Dogg. What if this ends scoreless, said AEW fan? Well, if it ends scoreless, it'll blow this group open because Ecuador won their first game, didn't they? So it make things very interesting. Ball being played into the middle, headed towards goal, and it goes wide. But we're still only halfway through the first half. It's a tense, little nervy first half. Both teams have had 3 shots, none on target. De Jong has had the best opportunity. That's why Triple H sees Cora Jade as the next Sasha Banks. Yeah, at this point, I don't even know what you're on about. I don't know what you're on about. Cora Jade is the next Cora Jade. I've never seen empty seats at a World Cup before this, and this isn't just a few. It is taken away from it, isn't it? I do agree with that. I mean, yeah, it's true. There are empty seats and a lot of empty seats. Right, here come Senegal going down that right-hand side. Trying to find a way forward. Both teams with opportunities, but we haven't had that big shot on goal, that big save. I mean, Frankie's moment was the best moment for him. Ball being played down the line into the middle. Senegal trying to feed the ball through, but well defended by the Netherlands. 28 minutes gone so far. Ball being passed back down the line again. Here's Senegal. Keeping the ball in the Netherlands half down the line. And there is Frankie. Mopping things up. Becky was big, but she never got back to that level. Just like Seth isn't as big as he used to be. Shot there. Coming down the line. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I think that Becky was big, and in that moment, she established herself as one of the biggest women. I agree that Sasha is in that conversation, and I agree that Sasha main evented WrestleMania as well, main evented Night 1. So I largely think we're in agreement. I mean, I wouldn't say that she is the biggest, though. I would definitely argue that point. But I think she is amongst the biggest. But the conversation remains the same regardless. And that is that if she comes back, fine. If she doesn't, fine. But the original point was, what if she comes back and wins the Rumble? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because I think there's other women that have, frankly, that have been here. Frankly, that have been putting in the work for the past 6 months. That, probably deserve that opportunity. We've had Asuka on the back burner for I don't know how long, so I'd much rather see Asuka win the Rumble. Liv Morgan is doing some interesting stuff at the moment where she's had that taste of the championship. Now they're trying to change her character, so, you could go in that direction. There's a few different directions you can go. I wouldn't be giving it to the woman that's been away for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months by the time we get to the Rumble. Ball being played across. And it goes out of play. Lemden said, it's coming home. It's coming home. It's checked its watch. It's had a word with its friends. It's saying to its mates, need to start thinking about going home. But it's not here yet. Mark said, she is a joke. She doesn't deserve the Rumble win. Don't reward those that walk out. I would like Rhea or Liv, says Jake. Oh, hello, we got a Netherlands player down. Jansen was down. Half an hour gone already, and really, the match has been all right. The only thing this match is missing is that kind of really big, juicy moment. I feel like De Jong has given us that moment, but I'm looking for like a real big save, or I'm looking for like someone being one-on-one and they put it wide. I'm looking for something like that, or a goal. To have half an hour gone and we've not had a single shot on target by either team is a bit disappointing, but it also shows how close this game is. Gonna look to whip this ball in then. Free kick just outside the penalty area. This is interesting. Arms behind backs here as this free kick is about to get taken. Just having a little look and taking their time here. Referee just having a word with people. It's a good opportunity this for Netherlands. Gonna look to whip it in. Ball is curled in. It's high. Back post. Headed clear by Senegal. Headed clear. Ball goes down the line. Knocked back. And Senegal playing the ball back. Comes over. Nice. Knocked back to the keeper. He brings it out. So Senegal survived that quite comfortably, actually. I think Netherlands could have done a better job of putting Senegal under pressure. Ball going down the line. And Virgil van Dijk puts it out of play. Ronda walked out and then won the Rumble. That's the same thing. You were mad. Ronda walked out and then won the Rumble. When did Ronda walk out? When did Ronda walk out? Ronda took a break after WrestleMania 35 to start a family. And she injured her hand. She then had trouble starting a family, but eventually she did. She then got pregnant. I mean, she was out for ages. But I remember Ronda walking out. When did Ronda walk out? Lemden said, I reckon we'll draw with US on Friday, but Wales will get smacked 3-0. Grealish, Kane, and Saka. She isn't bigger than Ronda or Charlotte or Becky. Hello, Gregor. I hope you are well. Right, it's going to be a throw-in here by Senegal. It's going to be a throw-in by Senegal. Comes in, and the ball bounces out. If Southgate keeps benching Foden, we are doomed, says Siran. Siran, how can you say that? How can you say that, bud? We just beat Iran 6-2. How can you say that? And when Foden came on, he didn't even look that good. Oh, mate, come on. Come on. Can't have negativity after that result. I mean, if you want to be negative, the defense is a concern. Maguire is still a concern. But I don't know. Mason Mount was causing all kinds of problems. I don't know that we can point the finger at Foden not starting and for that to be a conversation after that result. That was a really good result for England. Come on, Siran. Come on. When she took time away, it was reported by Sean and Dave that she got into it with Vince and walked out. She only came back because of promises. I've never heard that. She was, in fact, I don't even think that's true. Ball being whipped in and it goes wide. I've never heard she got into it with Vince. I could understand if she did because I don't think WrestleMania 35 was meant to end that way. But she was always expected to leave after WrestleMania 35. So this is why I've never heard of her walking out after WrestleMania 35. And if she did, I think she was done anyway. She was always expected to go after 35. That's why Charlotte was believed to be added to that match, because we all thought Charlotte was going to take the pin. And so Ronda didn't have to. So Becky wins. Charlotte takes the pin. Ronda still looks strong. She goes away and starts a family. So, no, I have to disagree. Completely have to disagree. I don't understand, Michael, why you keep banging on this drum. It was a conversation about should Sasha come back and win the Rumble. And the point made was no, she's been away for 6 months. That's now gone into Ronda. It's gone into all this other stuff, which it just didn't need to go into this stuff. And the end result is we've got to something which I think is a complete lie. I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that's true at all. She was always expected to go after WrestleMania 35. Why you constantly have to look for double standards that just aren't there is just beyond me. I don't know why we always get into these conversations. Why do we always get into these double standards that just do not exist? If Ronda had been booked for a show and announced for a show, and then she didn't appear because she had walked out, I would be quite happy to lay into Ronda. Quite happy. You give me an example of that, because there isn't one. There is no example of Ronda being advertised for a show and walking out during the show and not fulfilling that obligation. There is no example of that. So keep looking for that double standard, because you won't find it. Right? but I can find Sasha doing it. Sasha walked out during a show. So it's not a double standard. There is no double standard, but you always look for it. What do you think? Who do you think will win out of the Netherlands game? Says Stephen. Who do I think will win in the Netherlands game? I've got Netherlands winning 2-1. We have finally had a shot on target. Sasha gets upset about booking every year or two. She got upset after Mania and disappeared, and now she's disappeared this year as well. It's coming home for Wales and the Welsh men, says Kian. Michael said, did you like what Punk did when he was in WWE and AEW? This just feels like a loaded question now, doesn't it? Now it feels like it's just about like, well, if you like this, then why do you like that? Now it's just turned into like this weird game. Like, what is this? Do you like what he did in WWE? Do you like what he did in AEW? Well, if you like that, then what do you think about this? Like, what is this? What are we doing? What are we doing here? What's this become? Again, another example of trying to find double standards. Saka had redemption from his penalty miss, but in all seriousness, Slater versus Roman at Mania. What, Heath Slater? No. I like Heath Slater, but I wouldn't have him against Roman. I would like him to come back, though. I do like Heath Slater. Ball being played in the middle. Right, we've got 5 minutes left of this half. We're seeing Netherlands pushing forward. Goes over to the right-hand side. Looking to play at edge of the area. Shot comes in. Oh, just over the bar. That was better. That was better by the Dutch. So just over the bar there. Edge of the area. Just gets a deflection, actually. But I think it was going to be too high anyway. Cody versus Roman at Mania, says Kian. Cody versus Roman. Could be going that way. Right. 5 minutes left in this half. Ball being played forwards. Onto the edge. Headed forwards. Knocked down the line. Looking to play it into the middle. Knocked into the middle. It balloons up into the air. Bounces down. Comes back. Played forwards. Oh, there's a little push there. A little push by the Netherlands defender. A charge there by the Senegalese forward as well. So it's all happening at the moment. We've got a Senegal player that's down. So we've got a Senegal player that's down. Virgil van Dijk letting that ball come across by Sarr. Sarr causing all kinds of problems here for Senegal. Jake said, do you think that we can still get Rock versus Roman? Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. I haven't heard that it's not going to go that way. Ball is going to be whipped in here by Senegal. So we've got a free kick. We've got something interesting going on here. Things are just getting a little bit hotter as we get towards the end of this half. Plenty of Senegalese forwards, Senegal players forwards. Van Dijk in there as well. Plenty of Dutch players back. Lots of Dutch players, actually. A whole wall of orange, and can't get past that first man. Headed clear. Knocked back, and it goes back to the halfway point. Are they going to launch it forward? They launch it over to the side, but it goes straight out. USA versus Iran is going to be a war derby, said Saran. VVD says 50-50 TV. Deanna said, just because you're right about Ronda walking out doesn't mean you're right. What's this? Ronda walking out. I have never heard about Ronda walking out. This ain't. Let's search for this because this ain't gonna. This ain't going away, is it? This ain't going away. Ba, 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 ba. Ronda walks out of Hall of Fame taping after learning she wouldn't main event WrestleMania. I've never even heard of this. I thought the conversation was about her walking out and being upset with Vince after WrestleMania 35. I've never heard about her walking out to do with anything with WrestleMania 38. But what did she walk out of? According to Alvarez, Ronda was furious ahead of WrestleMania. It was said that she was upset over not main eventing and she walked out of a Hall of Fame taping. She discovered she was not scheduled. In a shocking development, she walked out of a Hall of Fame taping. Is that what we're talking about? Is that what we're talking about? You'll have to let me know. Is that? I want to know if that's what we're talking about. If that's what we're talking about, then I'm ready to lay into it. Because if we're comparing Ronda walking out of a Hall of Fame tape, first of all, if I didn't know about it, I don't believe I've ever heard about it, right? Second of all, she was never advertised for that Hall of Fame taping, right? So completely different to Sasha being advertised for an actual match and Naomi being advertised for an actual match. Like if we're claiming that is comparable to what Sasha and Naomi did, then it's not even close. It's not even close. It's not even a thing. She got upset. She walked out of a Hall of Fame taping. Now, a Hall of Fame taping would have been maybe they wanted some comments from her backstage, but the Hall of Fame is all to do with the Hall of Famers, isn't it? So if that, unless someone can tell me of something different, I think that it's madness if we're comparing that to what Sasha and Naomi did. Ball being cleared by Senegal. Ronda said that Alvarez thing never happened, said AEW fan. This whole conversation is a joke. This whole conversation is a joke. This conversation is an attempt to find double standards that do not exist. Because let me be crystal clear, if anyone was advertised for a match and they walk out, I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's Roman. I don't care if it's Sasha. I don't care if it's Gunther. If you are advertised for a match and you, because of booking, walk out and do not honor it, then I will criticize you for that. I'll criticize Sasha for it. And if anyone can find an example of Ronda being advertised for a match and she walks out during the show and doesn't honor that match, I will sit here and criticize Ronda for that as well. But this is just a childish attempt to try and find double standards that do not exist. And I don't know why we're engaged in this conversation so much. I can't wait for a heel turn on Friday against the US, says Lemden. There won't be no heel turn, dudes. I'm very open and welcoming to all fans for this World Cup, whether they be United States fans, whether they be Iranian fans. I mean, I'll be supporting England, of course. But listen, if England win, there won't be any gloating. There won't be any gloating. If anything, I think it's going to be a tricky little game. I'm really looking forward to seeing the US later. What do you think about MJF being the new AEW champion, says Mohammed. What do you think about MJF being the new AEW champion? It's probably the right move. It's probably something worth cleared out of the defense. It's probably something worth trying because their ratings have not been brilliant. So a bit of a reset. Here come Senegal trying to find a way forwards. 50-50 said, I can't wait to watch England crush States on Friday. Ball going into the middle, headed clear. So we've still only had this one shot on target. I only asked about Sasha, says AEW fan. Oh, it doesn't matter. Not the most gripping of halves, only one shot on target. So if we are going to have a conversation like that, then maybe if the game was better, then we wouldn't have been engaged in such a heated conversation. But either way, end of the first half, it's 0-0. Honestly, I think I look at the Netherlands as a team that really do need a number 9. They look to me to be a team that need to be better at finishing. Senegal have actually looked quite exciting in their breaks, and they seem to be quite an even match for the Netherlands. It'd be very interesting if they had Mane. If Senegal had Mane, then I think things could be quite concerning for the Dutch. Michael said, me and you are having a friendly debate. People need to calm down. Me and Days disagree. It's a big deal. Yeah, I mean, look, you know, it's a heated conversation. I do think, though, Michael, that you do constantly seem to try and find contradictions that don't exist. So I don't know if you're just, I don't know, constantly trying to catch me out on stuff. And it's a game of some kind, or if you think that contradictions are really there. So I don't know kind of what your motivation is for doing that, but I would say maybe like, I don't know, unless you genuinely think that like we just make this stuff up on the spot. I don't know. I don't know. We don't. I mean, as I said, if anyone had done the same thing Sasha had done, then I'd be very clear in saying the exact same thing, because I'm a big believer that if you are advertised for a match, then you perform that match, because there would have been Sasha fans in that crowd. There would have been fans that wanted to see Sasha and were hoping to see Sasha, and then would have heard that they are seeing Sasha, and then that gets taken away because Sasha wasn't happy with some of the booking, and my feelings on that would not be any different if it was anyone else. Like, I just don't care about wrestlers individually in that way. Like, I don't subscribe to this kind of like symptom of Sasha. Like, I don't simp for wrestlers. Like, I don't feel different for one wrestler compared to another, you know? Like, it's not like we treat Sasha different because it's Sasha and we hate Sasha. Like, that's childish. It's not what we do. I don't think that way. So, like, to try and find myself in a situation where I have to like defend that's fine. We can do that. We can have that conversation, but it will come across as confrontational, because it is confrontational. So I don't know. I don't really get the purpose of it. The only conclusion I can reach is that people think that we have genuinely got double standards, which if that is true, I think is really disappointing. And maybe that's something I have to go away and try and think about. Like, how do I try and better communicate that we don't have double standards? Like, maybe that is something that I'll have to give some thought to. I don't know. I don't know. If that is a message that is going out, then that is a message that needs to change. Because, yeah, that's not what we're doing. So, I don't know. It's food for thought, isn't it? V50's Analysis Centre, 0-0 at half-time. Well played by both teams. Chat seems like they're a bit busy with Sasha Banks stuff. Yeah. If the game was a bit more exciting, then I think we wouldn't have engaged in such a conversation, to be honest. Days has publicly reprimanded CM Punk for his WWE walkout. God Save the King said, at the end of the day, if you're supposed to go when you're scheduled to be there, you can't walk out on fans that have paid money to go and see you, and that is the end of story. The bottom line is that, and it doesn't matter who you are. I don't care if you're Roman. I don't care if you're Sami Zayn. I don't care if you're Gunther. I don't care if you're Asuka. I don't care who you are. If you advertise for a match, and obviously if you're injured or something, then if you've got an injury, then I can understand you not going out there. But if it's a case that I don't want to do that, then that's clearly a problem. What I will say, though, to counter it, because we have already had this conversation, but what I will say is that WWE were not innocent either. Like, I think the way that they handled it was wrong. And some of the reports that came out of some of the things that were being said, clearly there's not a good procedure in place whereby if you're not happy, if you're not happy with the booking, then there should be a constructive way to challenge that. And it doesn't seem like there was a constructive way to challenge it. I think the thing with WWE is everything is so last minute. You rock up to the taping on a Monday, and if it's not right, there's hours, that's it. There's hours to try and change it. And, trying to get a hold of Vince, I should imagine, is difficult, or was difficult. I'd like to think they've probably changed that procedure, because that whole procedure is just, it wasn't right. And I think there's a lot of tense people walking around backstage because, there's a deadline. They've got to be on air. They've got a billion things they need to sort. So if you do have someone coming up going, I'm not happy with this, chances are they're probably going to be greeted with, not the most flowery of language. And I think that contributed to the walkout as well, is that they weren't treated with the respect they would be hoping to be treated with. So WWE are not innocent in this in any way. I think they're at fault as well, and I think they need to make that procedure better. But, I just think the idea of Sasha coming back and, being given, main event WrestleMania and all this kind of stuff, no, I wouldn't be, I don't want to see that. At the end of the day, we read that one. Doesn't my like booking do job? Another black eye for FIFA. FIFA app crashed earlier today, says Davids. Just sharing opinions and thoughts. Everyone is allowed to share their own beliefs, says Mark. Mm-hmm. It's true. Who are you cheering for the World Cup, says Mohammed. Who am I cheering? I'm cheering England. I'm firmly behind England. Need England and Netherlands to combine. 0-0 Friday night. Hear me out. Netherlands are going to top the group. USA are going to finish second. I think USA will beat the Netherlands in the final 16. Netherlands are known to bottle it. Much like the Stone Cold situation, Sasha shouldn't have walked out. Stone Cold got buried by WWE, apologised, paid his fine and came back, says Fidel. Can you confirm if Jake Paul is going to face Andrew Tate in a boxing match? I don't know, to be honest. Don't know. I did see them face to face, but I don't know if anything actually got signed. Michael said, I think there is a conversation needs to be had, but I don't dislike you. If I did, I wouldn't watch the streams. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I know. But I think that's where it just gets a bit confusing, because this isn't the first time that you've tried to call me out on something. And that's fine, because I will always defend my position, because I'm quite happy with my positions. I know that I'm not got double standards. I don't feel like I have double standards. But if that is an impression that is coming across, I'll have to think about how and why, and I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know how that impression comes across or why that impression comes across. So yeah, maybe there needs to be a bit of thought put into that. But it's not something I'm going to worry about right now on this Netherlands versus Senegal stream. So I'm quite happy to move on. Febin says, do you blame Ronaldo or Man United for the recent mess? Well, it's one of them, innit? The truth is probably in the middle. I mean, clearly Ronaldo feels hurt. I think Ronaldo, when he came back, Ronaldo is one of the world's best players that wants to feel loved, doesn't he? He wants to feel like he's the man. He wants to feel like he is someone that can carry the team and can get those big moments and can help the team to glory, and he's not going to do that on the bench. So I think he was probably promised a load of things before he rejoined. He's come in. Since he's come in, we've lost Ollie. We then had Ralph Rangnick. Then we've gone and got Ten Hag. Like, the turmoil at the club has been horrific. And to be honest, it's turmoil that Ronaldo didn't need to be a part of. And you can always say, well, that's the risk that you take when you go to a club. The manager could always get changed. And so, you could always find yourself in a position whereby it's not going to be smooth sailing, So I sort of feel like, well, you can't really blame the club for that. They're just doing what's best for them. But equally, Ronaldo has suffered because, he's gone from come back, here's all this money. You'll play every game, all this kind of stuff. I'm sure there was loads of promises made. And now he finds himself on the bench. He finds himself on the bench and he's not getting game time and he's not feeling loved. And, there's a few things going on as well that, I don't know. I think when you get into a bad mindset, then all of a sudden, like, little things that seem off, like other things can get dragged into it. And so he was down on one thing, and I think then all of a sudden something else becomes an issue, something else becomes an issue. It snowballs, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? If you get into a bad mindset, then everything becomes bad. So I think some of that stuff that he said is probably not true or is probably been exaggerated. But I think that that could be his truth. It could be his truth. It could be what he believes. It's hard to know. I don't know. Is he exaggerating it because he wants to leave? Is he making a bigger deal out of this stuff than is the truth? Because really his intention is that he wants to go in January. Well, if that's true, then that sucks, doesn't it? He's thinking of himself. He's putting himself before the team, which he's clearly doing anyway. But he is one of the world's greatest ever players. I think he is struggling to accept that his career is winding down. I think he was hoping that he would at least get this season at United. I think he definitely wants to go. I think the truth, like most things, is probably in the middle somewhere. I think the truth is probably in the middle. I think you're probably looking at it being a case that Man United definitely could have done things better. And I think that Ronaldo could have done things better. And I think you can't escape the fact the end result is he's on the bench. And for someone like Ronaldo, it's not great, is it? It's not really where he wants to be at all. So, I don't know. I feel like that's a politician's answer, but it's sort of how I feel. I don't blame Ronaldo. I don't hate him. It does definitely dampen my enthusiasm for him, though. Like they always say, don't go back. Don't go back to the club that you've been at, or the fans that love you. I think it definitely dampens Man United fans' love of Ronaldo and appreciation of Ronaldo. I think he'll always be seen as a legend, and time will heal all wounds. So you have a little bit of time away, and he'll come back, and it'll be one of them when it. He'll come back. I mean, in regards to watch a game or something, he'll be in the stands, and the fans will love him again. So they'll be all right on that front. But right now, he needs to go. Right now, he needs to go. And apparently, Man United are going to send him a letter saying don't come back, basically. After the World Cup, don't come back. Michael said, I think people bashed Sasha, but not Brock or Jeff Hardy. Do you agree? It's not fine, but it is just my opinion. People bashed Sasha, but not Brock or Jeff Hardy. I think the Brock one was interesting because that was a developing story. So, rumours went around that Brock had walked out. And I think there's a bit of a difference between them again, to be honest. I think again, not this is nothing to do with Sasha. It's nothing to do with Brock. But I think Sasha walked out for her. She left for her. She left because she wasn't happy with the booking that they'd made her do. They'd given her. Brock walked out because he found out Vince had gone. So he found out that Vince had lost his position. And he was like, well, if he goes, I go. So Brock walked out in solidarity of Vince. It's still not right? I still wouldn't defend it. He would, if he is advertised, he should be on the show. So Brock was, wrong to do that. Thankfully, they were able to get him to still be on the show, so he did end up being on the show anyway. But I feel like there's a difference between motivation. It's a little bit like if you do a murder, right? If you murder someone because, say, they killed your family, I think that's different than if you just wake up and go, well, I'm going to murder someone today, right? There's a difference there. And I think that's the same between Sasha and Brock. Sasha walked out because of her booking, but Brock walked out because Vince had lost his job. So that's where I think the difference was between those. Thankfully, Brock still came back, so it's not really affected anything. Otherwise, there would be a conversation that would need to be had there. And Jeff Hardy, I mean, what's the Jeff Hardy one? Oh God, there's been so many issues with Jeff Hardy. I think a lot of people put that down to his problems. I mean, there was the one where he was in the crowds, walked off into the crowd and everything during the house show. And to be honest, I think that wasn't him refusing to wrestle a match. If I'm thinking of the right one here, that was him like walking into the crowd at a house show. That one I think is just him being, we thought in a bad place mentally. So again, these things you have to treat them all as they are. Boom, there we go. Right, we are underway with that second half. Days, I'm from Northern Ireland, but I supported England my whole life. I never have liked my own country that have been attached to football. Is that dodge? I'm currently wearing an England shirt. It's up to you, to be honest. I mean, I think it's unusual. I think normally people support their home countries regardless. But the only thing I would say is that, if you're in a country that never really qualifies for the World Cup, I mean, I can understand you then having an adopted country so that you can enjoy the World Cup. I mean, if England never was getting to a World Cup, I wouldn't want to miss out on watching the World Cup. And I would still want to feel a part of the World Cup. So no, I don't think it's weird, because I think I would have an adopted country. I would choose a nation that, again, I've sort of done that at club level. So, I've got Stourbridge, who are the town that I support, and they're the town that I support, and they are not very successful. But I don't want to miss out on the Premier League. So I've got Man United as well. So I support Man United and I support Stourbridge. And so I support both of those teams. So I suppose in a way you're just doing that exact same thing at an international level. So I'm guessing you do still support Northern Ireland, but they're rarely, if ever, at World Cups. So you've got an adopted nation, which is unusual, but I must admit, I think I would do the same. Days, back to football. This must be the tallest match of the tournament. Maybe. I have no idea how to find that out, to be honest. But yes, they are. There are a lot of big players on the pitch right now. I don't think you would like American sports. Athletes sit out for new contracts or will sit out to get traded. Probably not, to be honest. Probably not. I mean, I'm a big believer in contracts. I think contracts are important, in sports. We see all the time, like, footballers getting these big money contracts, and, it kind of feels like the power is with the sports star, which I don't disagree with. But when you support a team like, say, Man United, and, like, you're having to pay all this crazy amount of money to try and get, like, the biggest names, which, you've got to do. If you want the biggest names, you've got to pay the biggest amount of money. But it's just, there's a lot of sports stars that get way more than they deserve. And, it seems to be a player's market. And so, these people are making crazy amounts. And I understand, make your money, whilst you've got your career and all of this. But the amount of money that's being made by some of these players is obscene. It's obscene. Even like the money that's being made by wrestlers is obscene. Like, I don't begrudge it them. but it's like it's obscene amount of money. When you look around and you see the people that are struggling to make ends meet, and actually, there's people in England right now that are having to decide whether they want to have food or heat. Like, this is a big concern. And then you look at people that are being paid like 300,000 a week. Do you know what I mean? 400,000 a week. You don't begrudge them making that money, but equally something inside goes, this is dirty. It's wrong. This isn't right. This isn't right. It's not right. I don't like it. It's just too much money that's going around. And do you know who pays for this? Us. Because every time you want to watch football, like, you have to have a Sky subscription or a BT subscription, and those subscriptions go up and up and up in price, don't they? The money that's coming into the game, it's coming from sponsors and advertising, of course, but it's coming from your subscriptions. And it all goes to, someone that should be earning 100,000 is earning 400,000. Do you know what I mean? Someone that could be having, if you got 50,000 a week, £50,000 a week, 200,000 a month, you're seriously telling me that that's not good enough? We're talking about people getting 300, 400,000 a week. It's the money is insane. So I think, it feels like the contracts, this is where players have all this power and everything. So to then see, contracts just being ignored, contracts being, abused, just sort of go God, they want their cake and they want to eat it as well. They're getting paid all this money. And then if it doesn't suit them, they just sit out and all this kind of stuff. It's the dirty side of the game that I don't like. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that stuff would annoy me. The owners have the power, says Lee. Lemden said, I don't like my country at all. The people are sly, always have supported England, even during 2016 when Northern Ireland were in it. I support Man City. That's all right. I don't... Well, look, it's your prerogative, mate. It's up to you. If you for some reason don't want to support your home country, that's up to you. I can understand it from the perspective that I gave, whereby, if your country isn't there and you need another country to support, then I can understand why you would choose another nation. But I think if my country was there, I would be firmly behind them instead. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever makes you happy, mate. Whatever makes you happy. It's whoever you feel, I suppose in a way it's whoever you feel connected with. There's plenty of players that get born in one country, but they play for a different country. Do you know what I mean? You'd think if you was born in one country and grew up in that country, you would stick with that country. Look at, is it Carvalho? Carvalho plays for Liverpool. We spoke about him the other day. He represented England at under 16s, under 17s, under 18s. And then as soon as he got to under 21s, he went over to Portugal and just, I'm going to play for them now. Which is crazy, isn't it? That's it, I'm off to them. And now he's just fallen out with them. So there's hope he's going to come back to England. So, you would think playing for your country would be the most proud, that's where you'd get all your pride from. So, the fact that there's people just switching around nations and who they play for kind of backs up that why can't you support who you want to support, So, more power to you. Corner, ball being whipped in, goes over the crossbar. Goes over the top. Michael said, quick question. Do you think what the NWA is doing with the new person playing question mark? Oh, I haven't been watching. I don't know. I haven't watched the NWA in a long, long time. I think if they've got a new person playing question mark, I think if they're still honouring Josephus, I think his name is. I think if they're still honouring him in some way, I think that's fine. I think that if you think about Tiger Mask in Japan, that had different people portraying and being portrayed. So, there are some gimmicks that sort of get passed down. Mr. Wrestling as well. You know, you had Mr. Wrestling, Mr. Wrestling 2. That was a gimmick that got passed down. Tiger Mask is probably the most famous that got passed down. So, you know, this question mark character could be around forever and just be played by different people. But I think it's important to not forget the people that played that character. So I can't say that I would see that as a disrespectful thing. 'Cause my benchmark would be the Tiger Mask thing, and it's done there, and that's fine. And it's not a disrespect thing. It's just that the character never dies, really. So Josephus played his part of the character. Now someone else carries it on. But I think you don't want to forget that person or just act like they never existed. So as long as they're still, you know, paying respect to Josephus, mentioning him or whatever. I don't know. I haven't watched in a long, long time. I know you love Breaking Bad. Yes. Have you called Better Call Saul? It's great. I've seen the first 5 seasons, is it? And I haven't seen the last season of Better Call Saul. So I do need to still watch that. And I have heard it is very, very good, the last season. So, yeah, that's still on my to-watch list. Ball being played out. I've got to tell you, this game has not resumed with any kind of fireworks. These two teams are seemingly cancelling each other out. Very little on show here between Netherlands and Senegal. To be honest, I don't think there's much here to worry England. I mean, honestly, Netherlands not looking that great. There's been some nice moments from them, though, where they have created some opportunities, but equally, you know, there's no goals. There's only a few moments that you would say they came even remotely close. And this is not really an example of total football from the Netherlands. Deanna, this match needs a goal, says Luke. 0-0 full time, says Deanna. We could be going that way. Better Call Saul's last season is legendary, says Tharuka. Michael, do you think Twitter will be around in 3 to 4 years? I don't know, man. It seems to be imploding, doesn't it? It does seem to be imploding. It's, I think I can't get my head around why they've done the verification thing. I don't know why the verification has been changed, because I sort of feel like if you turned around to people and you said, look, pay $8 a month because those that do, their tweets will be prioritized. We're going to promote them more than people that don't. Like, your tweets will still be put out there, but if people want to find them, they'll find them a lot easier if you are a part of Twitter Blue. That's not something I've made up. That's something that's actually being brought into Twitter. If you click on Twitter Blue, that's something that is said that is being brought in, right? So I sort of feel like, well, if you just said that, people would probably pay the $8 because I think people would want their tweets. And certainly, maybe not your average person, but, you know, there's a lot of Twitter accounts that really are, you know, like your Sean Ross Saps. There's a lot of accounts like that, your Wrestle Votes. Like, they want to be seen. Could you imagine if they were not seen? They were just hidden a little bit more unless they paid the $8. So that surely would get people to subscribe. I don't understand why, if you subscribe, you get the verification tick. Why do you get verified if you subscribe? Why do you get verified? It's just completely messed up, the whole verification thing. Now, verification means nothing. It means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't even matter if you're verified by Twitter Blue because it doesn't mean anything anymore. No one pays attention to it. It's become irrelevant. Ball back post. Oh, Senegal just wide. So I honestly don't know. I mean, like, I feel like it'll probably be around unless it doesn't make any money and then Elon Musk decides, well, I'll just shut it down. Because I think Twitter needs to make money for Elon. Elon won't just keep it going and lose money on it. So I think it depends how this Twitter Blue thing goes. Commentators are quite quiet. Crowd are quiet. Lots of empty seats. Netherlands have got the ball. 54-46. There's been 13 shots. 1 on target. That is it. 1 on target. Here's Senegal trying to drive forwards. But Netherlands getting a tackle in. And this is quite the come down from that England game. That 8-goal thriller. Do you think it's McCade said, do you think Tegan Knox is going to return for War Games for Team Bianca? I mean, I'm thinking it's Candice, to be honest. But, I mean, I think Triple H has got a soft spot for Tegan Knox. I think it's a bit of a problem, though, because I think he's got soft spots for people, but I don't know if they're people that are going to really bring much, like, I don't want to be too down on Tegan Knox, but she's not someone that I'm not that excited by. I was excited when she was Nixon Newell, and I was excited when she first came in. And maybe it is just that she's been injured and had a couple of big injuries, so she's never really been able to get much of a run together. She had a little feud with the likes of Dakota. That was kind of interesting. But, I mean, really, there's not really much to hang your hat on when it comes to Tegan Knox. There's really not much to get that excited about, so I don't know. I mean, I'm really not clamouring for her to, if she comes back, fine. But I'm not clamouring for her to come back. But, I mean, look, Triple H, if he thinks there's something there, we'll have to see, won't we? What do you think about telegrams as an alternative, says AEW fan? I think they're going to take off. I think they're going to blow up. The fax machine's going to come back. We're all going to fax each other going forward. Hayden said, tonight's Raw is a go-home show. Oh, I forgot about that. Back to regular programming. Jellyhead said, these teams suck. They can't score 1 goal. Tanner said, do you have a World Cup predictions video out I could watch? Sadly not, but no, I didn't get around to doing one. No, I should do one, and actually I need to do a Survivor Series one. I might do a Survivor Series one on Thursday, maybe. I think there is a small window that I might be able to get that done. World Cup predictions. What I might... I wonder if there's a way I could do that after watching like the first round of games. I know that's a bit... sucks, but in all fairness, I mean, we get a much better idea, wouldn't we, of how teams are looking after a first round of games. And I would have done one before, but I haven't had a chance to do one, so no, sadly not. Legend Killer said, I like this World Cup so far. Shuvam said, Senegal are very good. Memphis Depay has come on. Wow. So there we go. He wasn't fit to play all 90 minutes, but he's come on with half an hour to go. Can Memphis Depay inject something into this game that is much needed? FIFA president is open to North Korea to hold the World Cup. Shh. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Wow. I mean, look, maybe he has to say that. Maybe he has to say that for openness, inclusivity. Maybe that's something he has to say. Maybe he knows politically that North Korea would never bid for it. North Korea would never throw open their arms and welcome the world, you know? So perhaps I can only imagine he's saying it because, like, well, he doesn't need to start trouble with North Korea and be open. And I'm trying here. I'm trying to put a positive spin on it for him because that's all I can think. He's lost his damn mind, said James. It goes 30-minute overtime if they're till 0-0. No, you would be right, Michael, but that's only for knockout games. When we're in this group stage, you can actually just end in a 0-0 draw, but so, yeah, no. He doesn't want to get bombed, said Serge. It probably is that. It's all good. I know how busy the streams are with the World Cup and Survivor Series. Who do you think wins the cup, says Tanner? I think this will probably be won by Brazil. I think Argentina have got a fantastic chance. So it seems like Brazil, Argentina will be in one of the semi-finals, and then one of the teams will go to the final. I think whoever wins that wins the World Cup. I think it is going to be Brazil, Argentina in a semi-final. Winner of that wins the World Cup. It's going to be very interesting to see who makes it on the other side. I think it's between France, Portugal, England. You might say Netherlands, but I mean, there's nothing in this opening 65 minutes that's concerned me. There's nothing here that looks like it would be really much of a problem. Still a good team, though. Very good team. And we know that it can take some teams a while to get going. I was expecting England to struggle against Iran and only win 1-0. But, yeah. Oh, little slip there by Senegal. Ball being played into the middle of the park. Don't forget, we are building our way towards USA against Wales. Ball being played forward into the penalty area. Shot there by Senegal. Good save. Good save. Yeah, finally getting a shot on target after a while. And it seemed to be quite low in the corner. Senegal picking up the ball. Ball was played into the penalty area. Lovely shot. I mean, he really had to get down low and palm that away. It's a corner here to Senegal. It's a corner to Senegal. They're going to look to whip the ball in. Into the middle. Ball bouncing around. Edge of the penalty area. Down the line. Looking to whip it in. Kept it in play. Looked like it might have gone out. Referee blows, and I think it had. We are into the final 25 minutes. I mean, I was excited for USA Wales anyway. I'm even more excited after watching this game. I support Man United and Exeter, says Alex. I'm from Exeter. Love when Plymouth come down our way. War games. Tharuk said that was close. Legend Killer says, what a save. Lemden said Brazil is my pick. I want England, but Brazil is too strong. Yeah, I mean, what will be, will be. I think as an England fan, ball, edge of the area, Netherlands, up in the air, bouncing around. Good work by Senegal. That's going to be a free kick to Senegal. Senegal just getting fouled on the edge of their area by the looks of it. Little push there. So, yeah, I think what will be, will be. I think as an England fan, what I'm hoping is that we get through the group, we top the group. If we play Senegal or Netherlands, judging by this game, I wouldn't be too worried about either. Definitely would be a step up, a big step up from what we just saw against Iran. But I would fancy us against either of these sides. Then, of course, it's just a case of, well, do we avoid France? And even if we avoid France, Denmark are going to be tricky. But this is the World Cup. If you want to get through to the later stages, you're going to have to play some tricky teams. So, yeah, I agree. I think by the time we face Brazil, hopefully that would be the final. And, wow, anything can happen in a one-off game, can't it? One-off game, anything can happen. I actually, looking at the draw, it doesn't seem too unkind to England. It doesn't, it's not as if like, well, if we get through this, we got Argentina next. If we get through that, then it would be Brazil. If we get through that, then it would be France. I mean, you wouldn't stand a chance with that. What team would be able to get through Brazil, France, and Argentina? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, oof. That shot might have been going on the post. They're just showing the replay. Either way, the keeper had to make a save. Good save. The difference between this game and the last is like heaven and hell, said Tharuka. Kyle said, I'm super pumped for the USA. Cali Cool J says, gotta beat the best to be the best. It's true. It's true. You're going to have to beat some good teams at a World Cup to get to those later stages. And, England need to just, and any team really needs to just focus on themselves. All you can do is worry about what you can control. And that's why it was such a good performance earlier. But there is concern what with England conceding those 2 goals. Who is the GOAT between Michael Jordan or LeBron James? I don't know. Who do you think? I probably haven't watched enough basketball to be able to make a very good, educated observation. I mean, my feeling would be Michael Jordan. But I'm sure people would be able to say, well, no, LeBron's done this, this, and this instead of Jordan. Jordan never did that. But to me, I mean, Michael Jordan, he was in, it was silly stuff, but, he was in Space Jam. And I remember that being everywhere. And in the UK, NBA is just not shown on TV. I mean, it's on the Sky Sports channels, but, if you don't have those, you will never see basketball on TV. So, Michael Jordan was able to get into the mainstream, and he was able to really kind of, I don't know, I wasn't really aware of basketball when I was young, but I knew who Michael Jordan was. And I'm sure the same is true now for the likes of LeBron, but makes it hard to know, who's had the bigger impact. I mean, I just feel like it's Michael Jordan. I feel like Michael Jordan, I don't know if he's won more championships, but didn't he win 5 or 6 with Chicago in the 90s? I'm sure. I mean, I remember watching The Last Dance, and I'm sure it was about 5 or 6 that he won. I don't know that LeBron has been able to match that. But equally, can you judge people by how many championships they win? Do you know what I mean? That's a team sport, isn't it? It's not down to just individual players, so my gut feeling is Jordan, but that might be just because of my age. Can't wait for Raw tonight. This has been the best game so far, said Daniel. We don't have to beat the US then because they're not the best, says Lemden. Is there any news on Raw tonight? Go home show and I think, isn't it Dexter against The Miz tonight? I feel like there's something else as well, but I can't remember. Dexter Miz is the one that comes to mind. At the age of 18, Mbappe or Pele? Oh, Pele. Pele was winning World Cups, wasn't he? Was Mbappe part of their... He was probably part of the squad. Did Mbappe play in the final the 4 years ago? Let's have a look. France. Definitely Pele for me. Definitely. He did, and he scored as well, Mbappe. That is good, though, isn't it? Being in a final, and he would have been around that age, wouldn't he? And not only that, but scoring in that final. It was Croatia. I mean, obviously England struggled against Croatia, but France winning 4-2 in that game. Mbappe scoring in the 65th minute. It's funny, actually, when you look at that team, because it's a really good team, but it does feel like they've got a... Oh, great save by the Dutch keeper. Wow, that's nice. Oh, is it offsides? Goalkeeper didn't know. So quick break here by Senegal. It's pulled back, edge of the area. Shot comes in, straight down the middle. It's got some real venom on it. He manages to get his hands to it. Good reactions. It is right at him. But, yeah, they're saying it was offside anyway. But, yeah, I was just looking and, they got Matuidi. I don't know who that is. Matuidi. I feel like they've got a stronger team now, France, than the one that won back in 2018. I think they've got more options with Camavinga and Chouamini. Obviously, not having Benzema is going to really hurt them, but yeah, interesting. I thought the deadlock had been broken, said 50-50 TV. Mukuko, is that how you pronounce it? For Germany is 16. Is he 16? I thought he might be 17. He is the youngest player at this tournament. Don't know much about him. I don't believe he's going to be starting. Did you see Harry Kane was spotted limping as he left the stadium, said David. No. That's a concern. I mean, he completed the 90 minutes. He went over on his ankle, didn't he? And yeah, that if he's hobbling, that's a concern. I would like him to have gone off at half time, to be honest. I don't think we needed to risk him at all in that second half. Although, saying that, we were 3-0 up at half time, and Iran ended up getting 2 goals. So, you know, those goals we did get in the second half are going to be very useful if goal difference is going to come into play. Right, 15 minutes left to go. Who's going to win the World Cup this year? I'm probably leaning towards Brazil. But there's definitely some other options out there. Senegal putting the ball over. People say your age, say Jordan, but people my age say LeBron. I appreciate what they both brought to the game. Yeah, I think that I think they've both had a massive impact. I think that Michael Jordan is sort of regarded as the GOAT until Kobe came along and LeBron came along, and then they've definitely got into that conversation. But yeah, I'm probably not. Probably don't know enough about like basketball to really make like a good observation on it. But having seen The Last Dance and just knowing that I, knew nothing about basketball, but I knew Jordan. I can remember being on a plane flying to America. We were going to Florida. I think this was 97. And I distinctly remember the captain coming over saying, just an update, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently going past New York as we're heading towards Florida. Because you go over the top of America and you come down to Florida. You don't go straight to Florida from England. You go over Greenland and Iceland, over Canada, and then you come down New York, down the East Coast. So it was ladies and gentlemen, we are now going over New York, not too far away from Chicago. And if you do get a chance to see one of the great American treasures in Chicago, then I do recommend it. Michael Jordan will be playing this Tuesday. And the pilot was there was a little giggle. Because he was just saying about how special Jordan was, basically. Randomly, just a pilot, just over the tannoy. Just if you do get a chance to stop in Chicago and watch one of America's great treasures, then just to let you know, Michael Jordan will be playing on Tuesday. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of person Jordan was. Random pilots on random flights, we'll mention him. This match is going to end in a draw, said Tarek. Messi, Ronaldo, that is LeBron. That is LeBron James in keeper, 6'6". Jordan, a striker. USA would have been the best. Hang on. Messi, Ronaldo, LeBron versus Jordan. That's how I've looked at it. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Because, I think Jordan... If you ask about who the best basketball player is of all time, then, you're going to have Jordan, you're going to have LeBron, but you're going to have others in football. I think you might have others in basketball because you've got people like, I don't know, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Kobe. So maybe there are a few others in basketball. I feel in football, you've got the likes of Maradona, You got the likes of Pele. You got the likes of, some might say, Johan Cruyff. You've got the likes of maybe Brazilian Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi. It does feel like at the moment it's very Messi Ronaldo, but I don't think you can ignore Pele. You really cannot ignore Pele. And I don't know that you can ignore Maradona. So I don't know. I think there's probably more competing for the GOAT of football than there is for the GOAT of basketball. It does feel like it's really between LeBron and Jordan, I suppose. I don't know where Kobe falls in the conversation. Is Kobe not in the conversation? I was expecting Netherlands to win this first, more up for grabs than I thought, said King of Games. It's a bit of a problem, actually, this. I needed Netherlands to win this. It's not been a great game. Senegal have actually looked not bad at all. If Netherlands don't top this group and they finish second, then that would mean that England potentially will have to play them if England top their group. 10 minutes to go. It's there's very little noise in the stadium. There's a few instruments I can hear being played, but a fair few empty seats in the stadium. Ball being played across. Being passed back. Netherlands passing it around, trying to build. Memphis Depay has been on the field for about 15 minutes, but we haven't seen anything from him. 80 minutes gone in this game. 3 shots on target for Senegal. No shots on target for the Netherlands. If we have a look actually at the lineups, you can see that the highest scoring player on the pitch is Koulibaly. Koulibaly 7.5 for Senegal. Sarr, I think, has looked quite good. Sarr's looked good, 7.1. I don't know that anyone else has really stood out for me. In regards to the Dutch, Gakpo, can't say I've seen much out of Gakpo. 7.1. It's not really an amazing score. There's no amazing scores. Their keeper is the highest scoring player, according to SofaScore. The Dutch keeper. So, yeah, not really much to get too excited about in this one, but 9 minutes left to go. Let's see how this plays out. 9 minutes left to go. I don't know when we go over to our next game, but our next game is going to be obviously very juicy. Very juicy. Our next game is going to be USA in action. USA taking on Wales. So look, when's our next stream set up? Ball going over. $6:00. Yeah, well, if this has got like 9 minutes in it, then yeah, that's about right. So yeah, 18 minutes. We go to our next stream. Jeez. I would argue LeBron hurt the game. These guys want to play together instead of having any competition, says Michael. Michael said Kobe isn't really talked about as GOAT conversation. It's mainly LeBron and Jordan. Why don't you do Survivor Series predictions, then do football predictions as member videos? That way, not a single person apart from a few can laugh when you get it wrong, said Alex. I mean, I do need to do Survivor Series ones. I think the football ones are a little bit late now, but yeah. Please acknowledge Alex Caruso as the true GOAT of the NBA. Who the flip is Alex Caruso? Forced turnovers. Dumfries with 14. Mendy with 10. Gay with 8. Who's Alex Caruso? Alex Caruso played for the Chicago Bulls. He's 28 years old. He plays for them now. I don't know who this is. I've never seen this person in my life. Yep, is the GOAT. If you tell me is the GOAT, is the GOAT. Everyone knows the real GOAT of basketball is Damon Stoudemire. Used to play for Toronto. Is the real GOAT. I think is my favorite because I like Toronto. I'm a Toronto Raptors fan. Oh! Ball floated in, headed in by Netherlands. Wow, it's a goal. Out of no, is that Gakpo? It's a goal. The ball is floated in and it's knocked in, just headed in out of nowhere. I tell you what, that's great for England. That is great for England. He times that run beautifully. That has come out of absolutely no. It's a robbery. It's a robbery. It is Cody Gakpo. Scores on his FIFA World Cup debut. So it's just being passed around, dinked up. And there's maybe a question mark as to whether he's offside, but it'll get looked at. Keeper comes in, and Gakpo just beats Mendy, gets his head on it, and it is 1-0 to the Dutch. So big goal there for the Dutch. Heartbreak for Senegal. Heartbreak for Senegal. I don't know. I mean, after this game, I don't know who you would rather play, to be honest. I don't know who you'd rather play. I mean, Senegal have looked pretty good in this game. Ten Hag, sign Gakpo now. Gakpo scores. Don't know. 9 goals in the Dutch top flight. That came out of nothing as well. It's just a ball floated in, and he manages to get on the end of it. So there you can see. I was just waiting to see who was going to get the assist. That's a good save by the Dutch keeper again. It's all happening right now. Yeah, it's another low shot. Dutch keeper getting across, getting a hand on it. Yeah, nice. Corner taken by Senegal. Going to look to whip it in, playing it back. They're going to throw everything at this now to try and find an equaliser. 1-0 to Netherlands. Sometimes, you know, this is how it goes. Like, you don't play very well. Gakpo, there we go. Yeah, sometimes, like, you don't play very well, but you still get a result. It's De Jong that gets the assist. Frankie De Jong with the assist. And you churn out the result. 50-50 TV. Shout out to you. Ball goes straight into the hands of the Dutch keeper. He's done well. So Frankie De Jong getting the assist in this one. Magic Johnson's considered the greatest point guard, but Steve Curry is also in the conversation. I like Curry. I think he's better than Magic. Did England win, says Stanley? Yes, 6-2. It was a fantastic performance, fantastic result. The Iranian keeper got injured after about 20-odd minutes, and that seems to have changed the game. Iran were hard to break down, and then after that, England found a way through, and second half, we were just carving them open at will, actually. They seemed to really capitulate. Really seem to fall apart. They're known as a well-organised, well-drilled team, but England having no problems ripping them apart. Here, this game, I mean, it's been really flat. Not been much to talk about at all. But Netherlands getting that goal, which is going to see them well on the way to topping this group. I mean, Netherlands should be fine against Qatar. It's just going to come down to whether Netherlands can get a result against Ecuador. Heartbreak for Senegal. This heartbreak for Senegal. Magic is close to LeBron in terms of gameplay, said Michael. 50-50, shout out to you. Let's notice Clay after last night, says Yeoman. What are your thoughts on the Ronaldo interview, said Yusuf. Yeah, we touched on it not that long ago. I think that it is disappointing. I think there's failings on both sides. I think he wants to go, and I think he needs to go, and I think he will go. I think that's it. It's as simple as that. He doesn't like being at United at the moment. He wants to go. Doesn't respect the manager. He needs to go, doesn't he? It's just disappointing. It's disappointing that it couldn't have been fixed before that point. So it's a shame that it got to that point, you know. Right, De Jong is back up on his feet. We're getting into the final stages of this one. We are getting ready for our next game, which is going to be USA against Wales, which is going to be massive. Absolutely huge. So much excitement for that game. So that is coming up next. A double shout out from Days. Happier day than me getting engaged, said 50-50. Ball goes out of play. Michael said Curry is shoot first, and he is a great shooter. Can't forget Bill Russell, and Dr. J, says Yeoman. Right, into the 90th minute then. Into the night. 8 added minutes? Jeez, what's going on with added on time? 8 added on minutes? The flip is this? 8 added on minutes. 24 minutes were added on in that England game. 8 added on minutes here. Is this going to be the new norm? Is this the new normal? Now all of a sudden, normally we get 2 or 3 minutes. This is the second game today where we've been nearly touching double figures. England had 14 added minutes in the first half, 10 added minutes in the second half. Here we are with 8 added minutes in this game. I can't remember anything in this game that requires 8 added minutes. Jeez Louise. 8 minutes? What happened? I don't know. I don't know. Did someone's watch break? Yeah. Uh, 8 minutes. We didn't lose any time, said Serge. It's a bit weird, isn't it? I can't remember this. USA versus Wales will have 36 minutes added. Bill Russell played for the Globetrotters. Yeah, that's where I know that name. Think he played for the Globetrotters as well, Wilt Chamberlain. He played for the Globetrotters. Yeah, actually, when I was young, got tickets to the Globetrotters, and I really enjoyed it. And I ended up getting a book that told me all about their history. I can't remember anything now, but I read that whole book. It was fascinating. History of the Globetrotters is fascinating. Some legit fantastic players have played for the Globetrotters. I mean, they're highly skilled now, of course, but yeah, at one point, the Globetrotters were like up there with some of the best in the NBA. I think they even played a game against the NBA champions to see who would actually win. And I think Globetrotters won at least one of those games. So Globetrotters were a highly skilled team. Highly skilled. I mean, they're highly skilled now, but I think it's different doing tricks to actually, influencing and playing proper games. But I've seen the Globetrotters a few times. Really enjoy going to see them. Oh God, they're so funny. Their skills are amazing, but their mascot is so funny. Like mascots are pretty funny anyway, but I think their mascot's like an inflated globe, and he like comes out, and some of the stuff he was doing was hilarious. I enjoyed watching the mascot as much as I enjoyed watching the team. They just put on a fantastic show from like start to finish. They just put on some great basketball skill, and like obviously there's loads of comedy that's put into the show, and that continues at halftime with the mascot. The mascot was hilarious. Gakpo is off. Darun is on. This match has not been eventful. That's why the conversation is moving, says Michael. Bill Russell played in the 60s and won 10 chips before free agency or trading was allowed. Danny says, why are we talking basketball? Just, it's not been that great of a game. There's been one shot on target by the Dutch and they scored from it. Senegal have had 4 shots on target, in all fairness. The Dutch keeper's done well. 1-0 though, 8 added minutes. We've still got 4 minutes to go. What I might do is just delay the next stream by about 5 minutes. It's going to take about 5 minutes to get over to that next stream. This next one is going to be our final stream of football today. 3 games today, of course. 3 games today. And I think there's 2 games tomorrow. I've just knocked that next stream back by 5 minutes just to give me time to get it changed over. They're saying that it seems like the final game in this match day between Senegal and Ecuador is going to be absolutely critical. And that is true. That will decide who goes through in this group. Who goes through in this group? Is it going to be Senegal or Ecuador? Which of these teams will progress? I am 3-0 in my prediction so far, says AEW fan. If we're talking GOATs, then the GOAT of European football is Liverpool. Seriously, something different and special about us in European competition. Next one doesn't start till 7. Yeah, I mean, I want to start early. There's lots to talk about. There's lots of excitement. It's the first World Cup game in 60 years for Wales. You can imagine how excited the Welsh are. Understandably so. America as well, US, they weren't at the last World Cup. It means a lot to them. This really feels like it's teams battling as to who's going to finish second in the group. Of course, can't really say that because, there's still plenty to go, and England absolutely could slip up against either of these teams or both of these teams. So still a long way to go in the group, but England taking a big step forward earlier. Come on, Netherlands, said Legend Killer. David said Real Madrid are GOATs. Skull King said, didn't care for soccer or football. FIFA 22 was free on PS Plus, but now I'm here. That's cool. Isn't it funny how different things bring you into the game? That's cool. I think if you watched the England game earlier, you saw something very fun. That had 8 goals in it. I mean, that's incredible. 3 in the first half, 5 in the second half. Yeah, I mean, that was quite the game. This one, 98 minutes here, and it's going to end seemingly 1-0 to the Dutch. And I can't even say the Dutch deserve it. I feel like Senegal have had more chances. Senegal, both of these teams look fairly even. They really look fairly even. I don't think there's much to get impressed about with the Dutch. The only thing I would say is that the Dutch might improve as this tournament continues. They might settle into a groove. Like it feels at the moment they could just be finding their feet. So you never know. There's a lot of teams that don't look that great early. I seem to remember, I think, was it when Spain won the World Cup? I've got a feeling they lost their first game. And then they went on to win the actual tournament. Here's Depay, takes a shot, saved by the keeper, comes back. Oh, it's in! Klaassen scores! Klaassen scores! It's confirmed by Netherlands. Victory confirmed. And that takes any doubt out. You can't say they're lucky when they score 2. So Depay with the assist, played it into Klaassen. Klaassen was there to slot it home. And that goal scored in the 99th minute. 99th minute, so Memphis Depay with the assist. I do feel sorry for Senegal, though. Senegal are going to look at this and think, what did we need to do? How did we lose this? Klaassen, it's a nice finish. The keeper, Mendy, getting his hand to it, but it gets past him. Look at that. Look at the scenes of celebration in the crowds. So a goal in the 84th and a goal in the 99th. Klaassen. Yeah, it's true. You've got to find a way to win games. You've got to grind out wins. It might not be sexy football. The Dutch fans won't care. And this was a real potential banana skin. 2-1 is what I thought. Looks like it's going to end 2-0. Ball going over to the wing and it's kept in play. That goes out and surely the ref's going to blow the whistle. And he does. And he does. Senegal get the wake-up call as they don't play badly, but they still lose 2-0. 2-0. Senegal are nothing without Mane, says Davids. What a game. An 11th hour comeback from Netherlands. Nocto said, love the goal and assist showing under the country name. Nocto, shout out to you. Yep. If you are like playing the fantasy game, then that should hopefully help. If then you've got Qatar. Don't know. I mean, like Ecuador and Netherlands have. I think why would that be the case? Ecuador. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know why they've got the same amount of goals. Either way, those are the two teams that are top. It won't stay that way. Chelsea and Leipzig have agreed 70 million for Nkunku. Who saw this after 75? Yeah, that's football.